22 days old, Gia is still adjusting to the world. Her movements are uncoordinated, and sometimes it feels like she's only half awake. It's interesting to watch. She reacts to light, sound, and touch, but it's clear her brain is still sorting everything out. During tummy time, she can barely lift her head. It's a slow process. She pushes up for a second or two before giving in to gravity. But even those small attempts are important. She's strengthening her neck muscles, figuring out control. What really caught my attention was how she moves in her sleep. Sometimes her arms and legs jerk suddenly. Other times, her fingers flex like she's grabbing something that isn't there. I kept wondering what was happening. Was she dreaming? Was this just reflex? Turns out, newborns have something called sleep myoclonus, random, involuntary muscle movements that are part of their developing nervous system. She's not fully in control yet,
Con
but these
ơi,
little motions are her body learning.
ra
Even her
sao ơi?
eyesight is changing.
Hả?
She's more alert than
Chị
before,
à?
but she doesn't
Chị
track
á?
objects well. It's clear
Gì
she
chị
sees
à?
something, but whether she
Chị à Ly?
understands what it is, that's another
Con nhiều
question.
tên quá, đọc mày mệt quá.
Right now, her vision is blurry, and she's mostly drawn to high contrast shapes. Everything happening now seems small, but it's all foundational. These early days are when her brain is wiring itself, connecting what she sees, hears, and feels to movement. Right now, she's just reacting. Soon, she'll start moving with intent. Right after finishing her bottle, she's out. Sometimes she doesn't even make it to the last drop, just dozing off mid-feed. I have to tap her gently to keep her awake, just enough to finish the bottle. But once she's done, that's it. Deep sleep. Later, when she wakes up, we can really see the difference. Her face is rounder and her belly is filling out. She's definitely gaining weight, little by little, day by day. And that's exactly what we want to see. At this stage, eating and sleeping are basically her full-time job, and she's doing great at both. Gia's starting to show more of her personality now. She's no longer just reacting to hunger or discomfort. There are moments where she looks like she's thinking, processing. When something's off, she doesn't hesitate to let us know. If she's upset, the pacifier is usually the first thing we try. Sometimes it works instantly. She calms down, sucking away like she's deep in thought. Other times, she just spits it out, completely rejecting the idea. When that happens, I flip her over for tummy time. She's still figuring out how to use her arms. Most of the time, they end up tucked under her chest, and I have to help position her so she's actually in a good spot. She struggles at first, lifting her head just a little before it drops again. She doesn't last long, maybe 30 seconds before she's had enough. But even in those short moments, you can see the effort. She's trying, even if she's not quite sure what she's supposed to do yet. After tummy time, it's usually back to sleep. One thing we've really noticed is how instantly she knocks out after finishing her milk. Sometimes she falls asleep mid-bottle, and I have to tap her to keep her drinking. But the second she's done, she's out. Deep sleep. There's no transition. One moment, she's awake. The next, she's completely still. It's different from her active sleep, where she stretches, twitches, and makes faces. This is real, recharging sleep. We've also started noticing how much she's filling out. Her belly is rounder, her cheeks are fuller, and overall, she's just looking bigger. A few weeks ago, she felt so fragile. Now, she's got some weight to her. It's subtle, but it's there. And then, there's Paz. On cleaning days, we let her on the bed, and she always finds her way next to Gia. She doesn't get too close, just sits nearby, watching. It's almost like she's standing guard. She doesn't try to touch Gia or sniff her, just sits there, completely still. I don't know if she's curious or if she actually understands that Gia is part of the family now, but it's become a routine. Gia asleep and Paz right next to her, as if she's keeping her company. At this point, you really start to appreciate a baby who sleeps well. The initial mystery of welcoming a newborn has settled, and now it's about keeping her on schedule, making sure she eats well, sleeps well, and stays healthy.
Vàng luôn,
Rất vàng.
mặt vàng thì
Từng
buồn
ngày.
lắm.
Chụp lại từng ngày luôn á.
Postpartum care is nearing its end, and we're starting to feel the weight of doing everything on our own. One of the biggest concerns, bathing Gia. We knew we'd have to handle it ourselves soon, so we made a video, partly to learn, partly to remember. Meanwhile, Paz is still adjusting. Before Gia, he got all the attention. Now, some days, we even forget to feed him on time. We try to make sure he gets moments with Gia, but it's different now. He watches from a distance, curious but cautious. By now, Gia has settled into a routine, especially when it comes to sleep. She's used to a specific brand of swaddle. I like to search for better options, always wondering if there's something more comfortable, more effective. But my wife knows Gia's preferences. She can tell immediately if something isn't right. It's one of those things that remind me sometimes it's not about finding the best option. It's about knowing what works for your baby. One thing we've noticed is how Gia's little habits are becoming more predictable. The way she settles down after feeding, the tiny movements she makes in her sleep. It's like she's finding her rhythm. Even her cries are more familiar now. We're starting to understand what each one means, whether she's hungry, uncomfortable, or just wants to be held. At this stage, every day feels like a small shift forward. Her grip is getting stronger. Her eyes linger on us a little longer. She's more aware of the world, even if just in brief moments. At this point, we're finally worry-free about Gia's weight. She started at 2.75 kilograms, and for the first few weeks, we were constantly focused on getting her past that 3-kilogram mark. Every feeding felt like a mission, tracking how much she drank, making sure she was gaining enough, and always pushing for just a little more. Now, it's clear, she's filling out. Her face is rounder, her arms and legs have more definition, and even her tiny butt is getting chubbier. It's like every day she's growing right in front of us. One of the biggest changes we've noticed is her skin. When she was born, she had this reddish yellow tone, which we read was normal for newborns, but now that color is fading. It's almost like her body is adjusting, flushing everything out as she grows. Even her poop seems to be part of the process. Another reminder of how fast newborns change. She's spending more time awake now, and it feels different. Before, when she opened her eyes, she would just stare blankly, almost as if she was still waking up to reality. But now, there's a shift. She seems more aware, more present. When we talk to her, she reacts, sometimes with small movements, sometimes just by looking at us in a way that feels intentional. It's subtle, but it's there. Her movements are also getting stronger. Tummy time is lasting longer, and she's putting in more effort to lift her head. We're realizing the first real muscles she's developing are in her back and butt, probably because of all that tummy time. Her legs also feel stronger when she stretches, and when we hold her, we can feel her pushing against us, just slightly, like she's testing out her strength without even knowing it yet. But the biggest shift? She's starting to show more of her personality. The quiet, sleepy newborn is still there, but now we're getting little glimpses of something else. Sometimes she'll make a playful expression or react to our voices in a way that makes us think. She's becoming more than just a tiny newborn. She's figuring things out, slowly waking up to the world. And we're watching every second of it, knowing that these early moments will pass faster than we can ever hold on to.